Hi, probably here because you heard my Purple Blue release. Wondering, good links. Tim, how did you make such a nice, simple, clean beat? How did you? Well, I'm here to show you, tell you how I made it. Get into it. Without talking shit as usual, let's jump into the beat breakdown. So, this beat started off as most of my beats do, because I'm not a trained person, as I'm not a musically trained producer with a sample and with a guitar loop. This is how the first and the verse bit of the guitar loop sounds like on its own. So it was the first beat and the verse bit of the song, and this is the hook beat of the song, of the loop, of the guitar loop. So the original sample was in two parts. So it was this little bit and then beep, 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 bit at the end of it. And I've just rearranged it so I have specifically one bit only for the hook, and then I have another bit which is only for verse. This way I think it's just a bit more easier for the listener, and it's a bit more easier for the artist, as me on this beat, to orient and get used to. The lyrical idea for the hook came actually from the melody, which is within the hook and the loop part of the guitar. So the processing that I have on this sample, it's actually because I bounced it off. It's the like a fourth or fifth version of the beat with a different sound selection and with a bit of a different processing. Um, the first version only had a reverb and EQ, I believe. So I bounced that off already mixed, and then I added another EQ with a low cut, um, a reverb, Renaissance aux. The next bit that I added to the beat was kick, which is nice and simple. There are like two parts to the kick, so one of them is just right over here, and it's the basic pattern. And another bit here, which is four on the floor pattern specifically for the hook. So this bit was created mostly for intensifying the rhythm of the instrumental and also creating a bit more tension, and then so the release can happen later on. The next sound that I added to the beat was snare. The only processing on snare I have is Renaissance aux and an EQ, which I think is just a phone filter EQ on as a preset on the FabFilter Pro Q3. Next sound that I added to the beat was a head pattern. The only processing on my hi-hats I have an EQ, an auto pan, which creates the movement of the sound from left ear to the right, and a vitamin, which is basically an exciter, I believe. Yep. The last bit I added to the beat was a vinyl crackle. I'll turn it up so you can guys hear it. So it was purely added for the sake of the sake of texture and filling up those spaces. So if you can guys see in the beat, the vinyl crackle and the texture actually only in certain parts of the beat where there are no drums or where there is more space for it to fill. So since I've already touched on the structure, I will explain you my thought process behind structuring the beat. I usually try to go with two bits which is clearly identifiable, whether a chord or a melody bit that goes into the hook specifically and into the verse specifically. The beat is very minimalistic and it's very, very simple. And in my verses, I wanted just a little bit of kick, no percussion elements whatsoever, just kick, snare, and the guitar loop. And as you can guys see, the hi-hat is only at the end of the first verse and like halfway through the second verse and a lot at the very end of it. And the decision making behind this is very, very simple. This song is more about the message and it's more about the lyrics rather than the beat. The beat is there to provide the foundation, the feel, the vibe, and the lyrics are there to convey the message. It's a very message heavy song in my opinion, and I wanted you guys to focus your attention more on the lyrics side of the things rather than the beat itself, but beat still would complement the lyrical aspect of it. I took away the snare in my hook because I thought that it was not needed, and I only left out where there is no lyrics part. And there is no, again, vinyl crackle during the verse, only on the coming in and coming out of the verse. So this is how the beat sounds like. Altogether, I'll probably play the most exciting part. So yeah, as you can guys see and hear, it is very, very simple. It has only 5 elements, doesn't overwhelm you, doesn't take a lot of attention from the lyrics and from the vibe. Words itself, it's very, very minimalistic. You can guys probably notice the commonality between my beats, that is still very, very simple. And the main thought process behind it is that I actually want you guys to focus more on the lyrical content of my stuff rather than the instrumental part. So I'll touch up a little bit upon the sound selection. So this is probably like a fourth or a third version of the beat. Originally, snare and hats were quite different. It had more of a trap feel to it, and when I showed the old version of the song Elijah is a church from church in AP, another New Zealand act. He told me and he gave me feedback that it was too overwhelming on an ear, and for the beat and for the song to work a bit more cohesive with the lyrics, it actually needed a bit of a more of a brought down kind of a lo-fi feel to it. This is when I realized that my song originally was referenced off of Summer at 7, which is a song by Russ. And I was listening a lot during that time to Isaiah Rashad's The Sun's Tirade, and the song is For the Squad. And I actually realized that between Summer at 7 and For the Squad, leans more towards For the Squad. So I had to change the sound selection a little bit, change the hi-hats, take away certain elements of the structure, like the sound changed, but I also removed the amount of hi-hats there were to beat, again, to support the lyrics. Whenever you mix and whenever you structure your beats, especially if you are your own producer, you are your own mixing engineer, and you are your own writer, when you are in the structuring and mixing stage of the song, try to think about, am I trying to outline the lyrical content, or am I trying to outline the final content of the song, because it's very important to shift the attention of the listener from one thing to another. This way, the listener or the artist is not bored and it's interesting. And another way, um, yeah, you're showing your intention where you want the direction, where you want the intention to be at. Quick story about this beat as well, that I nearly actually haven't finished the song at all. I got a bit burnt out. I had a bit of a depression realization moment in my life as well at that point of time, and because originally there was my vocals layered for the hook, I realized I just hated my voice at that time quite a lot, the singing voice, the rapping voice. So I asked my friend Jade Lewis to help me out, uh, at Pantheoni on Instagram. Check her out, guys. She's amazing. I asked her to help me out, and we finally recorded her takes for this song. I actually moved on with the mixing. I was able to finish it. I've written this beat and this song probably about a year ago, and it's only now being released, which is just maybe another lesson for us producers, musicians, and artists that songs take their time to be finished, to be mixed, to be released. So don't overthink shit. Stay healthy, stay frosty, and thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening to the song. I really appreciate all of you guys' support, kind words, likes, subscribes, and all that kind of stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed it, because I definitely enjoyed making this video for you. See you next time.